Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to IIG 2021 Virtual Intelligence Session C12 IDS Smart Monitoring using InformixHQ HQ, presented by Ajay. We will hand it over to you, Ajay, to start.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. So I am Ajay Anand Satbhadre. I have 5 years of experience in JavaScript technology. I am working as a UI developer for InformixHQ. So today I am going to present this session, which is IDS Smart Monitoring using InformixHQ. So this is disclaimer from IBM side, so you can read quickly for information. So today's agenda is, first we are going to see the agent terminology that used in InformixHQ, and especially in today's session. Then we are going to see the workflow of agent architecture and how to configure it for the SSL. Then after that, we can see the demo of how we can configure it. Once the agent is deployed, we are ready to configure sensors and deploy them. So as soon as sensors are deployed, we can view and monitor the sensors data, and additionally we can create and configure alerts based on that data, and we can monitor alerting incidents which will trigger once the alert is there. So, and we will see all this in demo. So let's start with agent. So agent is a lightweight program that runs on host where Informix database server is running. The agent collects the data from the Informix and the system itself. The second is repository database. The data collected by agent is stored in a database which is called a repository database. And this database can be on local host or it can be on remote machine. The next is sensor. A sensor defines a metric or set of metrics for the agent to gather the data. Alert. Alert defines a condition that should trigger an alerting incident in InformixHQ. Let's say, for example, if the Informix server goes offline, alerting incidents. As data is collected by agent, InformixHQ evaluates incoming data point against the alert definition. Any data point that meets the condition triggers an alerting incident. So it's kind of a notification. So this is the agent workflow. Basically, first we run the agent on the host machine. Then we configure that agent in InformixHQ. There's different kind of configuration there. Once the agent is deployed, we need to configure and deploy sensors. So sensors collects data from agent. So as soon as sensors are deployed, we can monitor the matrix information collected by sensors. We can analyze them, or either additionally we can configure alerts. We can create alerts, and based on that alerts, we will get the incidents. Now let's see architecture and how to configure the agent. So basically, this is the architecture of the agent, which is consist of in 3 parts. So and all 3 are sensors, type of sensors. So first is OS level sensors. So this kind of sensor is collects data from system information. So for example, memory utilization, disk utilization, disk IO, CPU, all the information which is basically related to system itself. And the another part is that database level sensors. So these are the sensors actually which collects data from database itself. For let's say, for example, session, statistics, checkpoint, memory segments, and chunk writes. There are more number of sensors. And the third is custom sensors. So custom sensors is basically a SQL statement that user defined in the SQL configuration in sensor configuration. So let's see how agent collects data and where it's stored. So this is one host which is ifx.india.com. So in this host, the Informix server is running, and in that Informix server, there is a sysmaster and different kind of database, which is internal database, system generated, and this is system information. Basically, so when we start the agent, it connects with the sysmaster database with the Informix server and the system information. It starts collecting data from both, and it stores data in a repository database. Now, as I said before, this repository database can be on the same host or it can be on remote host. So based on this, how agent collection data, there is two types of configuration for agent. First is the repository database is situated on same host. So in that case, Informix agent connects with the sysmaster database, which basically gathers the data related to database itself, and store that data in repository database. So there is a two connection here. First is sysmaster and second is the repository database, but on the same machine. And InformixHQ connects to the agent here to get the data from that agent. So this is this configuration one. This is how it looks in UI. So as you can see, there is a host ifxindia.com. This is a repository server. So this is the same on the same machine, and we have selected a repository database. And these are the connection properties that we can configure. We can pass while configuring the agent. So basically, these are the three connection properties that I have used for SSL connection. So we will talk in detail later. And second configuration is when the repository database is situated on different machine. As you can see here, there is two hosts here. First is ifx.india.com and the second is ifxusa.com. So we are running agent on host 1, which connects with the sysmaster of Informix server on host 1 and to the repository database on host 2. And then InformixHQ connects to the agent, which collects data from the agent. And this is the second configuration. So in this second configuration, since the repository database server is different, is situated on different server, so that's why we have this two kind of configuration here. So first, so as you can see in diagram, there's two hosts. So we have option to provide different connection properties for each of them. So same the SSL connection properties, because both servers are running on SSL, and without SSL we cannot connect to that one. So I have put that these three properties here. So these are the three properties which we use for SSL connection while connecting the agent to the Informix server. The first is SSL connection. So it is a basically Boolean value. It can be true or false. So if it is true, it will uh, it will get these two properties. If it is false, it will ignore these two properties. So the second is SSL underscore trust store. So basically this is just a path to the key store where agent is deployed. Now here agent is deployed on the ifxindia.com. So the key store path will be related to this, means the key store will present on this host. So it is related to that. And the third one is SSL underscore trust store underscore password. So this is just a password for the key store. Now let's see this in demo. As you can see, I already added two servers here, IFX India and ifxusa.com. When I go to ifx.india.com, as you can see, the server is online and agent is not configured yet. Because initially we are running, we have started agent on host machine, but it is not configured yet. So configured it by going to setup tab and go to agent configuration. Then you can select the server. This I'm doing first configuration. So same server. See, this is a ifx.india, and the repository also same. Repository server is also same. And this is a so when you, this is the option for passing connection properties. So by default, we are just inheriting the connection properties of the host, which is IFX India, because both servers are same. So these properties, using connection properties means we are just using the same connection properties which are defined in server, which is now currently these three properties. Because this server is also running on SSL, so that's why I have to pass these connection properties. Without these properties, we cannot establish connection there. So you can select the one, and if you want, if you feel like if you want to pass more connection properties apart from that, so you can add additional connection properties here. So when you save the information, when you save the configuration, again you here, when you come to landing page, you can see there is now agent is online, means it is online now. So this is first configuration. Now let's see the second configuration. Now the second configuration, again the agent is running on ifxindia.com, and repository database is on ifx.usa.com. So the same thing as before, just the additional this second proper connection properties configuration will be there for that, and it uh, it behaves exactly same as configuration one. Just we are passing different connection for properties for different for both server. So again I'm saving it. Yeah, so it's online. So this was about the agent configuration. Let's move to slides again. Now the sensors, now the agent is deployed and it is configured. So now next step is to configure and deploy the sensors. So basically this is the UI screens, where how we can add sensors and how it looks when it is in the list, and there's different kind of option here. So first thing is, let's move to demo now. To configure sensors, you will have to go to monitoring menu. Initially there is no sensors defined here, so you can add sensors. So these are the bunch of lot of sensors here you can use. So there's sensor name and description. So let's add operating system memory and CPU, operating system CPU per core, disk IO. Okay. So once you add sensor, it is in the list, but you will there is default value for each sensor. For example, for this operating system disk IO sensor, there is a 3 seconds frequency. This is a frequency of the data fetching. So and the second is data retention interval. So it is basically time period of data. After this time, this after 30 days, the data will be erased. If you set in infinite, so it will hold data. It will never erase. Okay. So you can edit this configuration. For now, for demo purpose, I'm setting a very small interval, 3 seconds. I'm doing same thing for operating system memory. And these all the sensors are database sensors and system level sensors. But you can also add a custom sensors from the screen like this. As I said, the custom level sensor is just a SQL statement, user defined statement. So you have to put there. Once you click on run, so there is data. So there is different kind of option you can set here by setting next. These the columns actually got from the that statement. You can name is you can name it, rename it. So basically these are the, it will be the sensors metric name actually. So when you are in next slide, when you are going to configure alerts, in that at that time we need this information. So this is by default just column name. You can rename it. Then you need to give some ID to this sensor. You can add some description about the SQL statement. What does this statement do? And there is again this interval value. This is a default, means this value will be shown there in sensors configuration page by default. And this is a preview of that sensor. Click on save button, you will be able to save it. Okay, so currently this it I already added the sensor with the same ID, so I'm renaming it. Okay, now the custom sensor is created, but we didn't add it here, so we will have to add it by searching custom sensor. Now it is in the list, and you can see the frequency that I have just set in that page. It is by default selected here. You can additionally modify it here. Again, saving. So this is how we configure and deploy sensor. Whenever you save changes, the changes is saved on the server. The next thing is, now we have configured and deployed the sensors. Now the next thing is the data collected by the sensors. We can analyze that data. So InformixHQ provides a dashboard feature there. You can add multiple type of sensors. It is fully customizable, and it provides lots of option for analyzing data. So let's see in demo. So if you can go to dashboard menu here, let's add a new dashboard. By clicking on plus button, you can add the new panel. Then there is a list of sensors here you can add that I just added. Now I am setting the operating system, and this is all the matrix type of this sensor, and you can give any name and save. So as you can see, now you are going to see this real-time information of that Informix database server, and it is updated in real time. Additionally, you can change is by time. So you can add as many as panel you want. Let's add another sensor, which is this IO, this BC. Now this is global configuration. Now you can again view this information anytime here. It is updated based on the frequency you have set in sensors configuration. Now we have deployed sensors configured, and now it's time to create and configure alerts. So this is the alert UI here. So first it contains the list of alerts. So this is already added, so that's why you are seeing this list, but you will have to add it. Initially it is empty, so you will have to add it. And this all the configuration, different kind of configuration that alert configuration provides us. So let's see in demo. So you will have to go to this alerting page, add an alert. Now I'm going to add an alert on operating system sensor. Operating system memory sensor. So there are three kind of alerts here. The first is latest value of metric. So this is just you can select any sensor that you had configured from this list. And the second is the status of the Informix, which can be either online, offline, and there's different kind of status. And the third is for agent, which is basically online or offline. So I'm going to use first one, latest value of the matrix. So let's select the sensor, operating system memory. So this is a first drop down is a sensor, and the second is a metric of that sensor. It is dynamic, so whenever you change the sensor, the metric of that sensor is changed. And this is the condition you can put here. So for I'm just putting if the memory usage is greater than 10 MB. I'm going to add another alert. For operating system disk IO. Now you have saved it. So whenever you can change, modify this condition anytime. So whenever this condition is breached, so you will get the alert. So let me show you next slide. So this is alerting configuration. Basically, whenever the alert is created, which is alerting incident, so you can set up whether you will have to get this on your email or Twilio. Means there's different kind of third party services you can integrate with this. So first is email. So in this email you can just set up SMTP, your port security layer and username, password and other things. The second is Twilio. You have to set up your Twilio account and put the authentication auth token and SSID and phone number. A pager duty. You will also InformixHQ also provide the pager duty option for alerting and running the script. So you can provide the path of the script, so it will be executed whenever an the alert is triggered. So you can add your own logic. So what you can do with that? So you can do multiple things like what should we do if the condition is satisfied. You can do some fantastic thing with that. So it provides flexibility to the user to do whatever you want. So for that, for this configuration, you will have to go to system information, and the first menu is alerting configuration. So as you can see here, SMTP is already set up. So you can test this by uh, putting the test email and make sure you enable this configuration. So to enable, you have to click on this button. Same for everything. Now the alert is now alert configuration is set. So you can now we can if there is you can either use your third-party services to get alerts, or Informix HQ provides this alert incidents page for that. So without configuration, you can have these alerts here. So let's see. For that, you will have to go to incidents page, and these are few alerts just generated, as you can see in real time. So here, as you can see, these are the alerts. So you can either acknowledge it. Acknowledge means you have noticed that alert, and there's multiple option here. uh, you can you can filter it from date to time, from and to, and there's a multiple selection option, but for now there is not much incident, so I cannot show you. And you can delete same. So this is I plan to show you the smart IDS monitoring in InformixHQ. So apart from this, InformixHQ provides a different kind of feature, like you can monitor logs of this server, performance of this server, checkpoint, threads, and so many things. You can also provide execute this queries from HQ itself, and you can manage all your databases and all the things, storage. So thank you. Any questions?
Jay, we had a bunch of questions in the chat. It looks like Lanish has been answering most of those. So thank you everybody for attending the session, and next session coming up at 2 p.m. will be the Ask the Experts. Hope to see everybody there and hope you're enjoying the conference. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.